I've got a comment on my last video, which you can see below, from Anne, regarding my last post. So a little bit of if you haven't seen my last post yet, please go and look at it so you can see the context. But I'll give you a little bit of a rundown. So the post was a breakdown of a situation a lady had been in, where she'd found herself feeling uneasy, maybe threatened by a guy on the street. Now, Anne's replied, as you can see below, and I've seen this comment in one form or another over the last, well, it's been around since longer than I've been alive, and I've seen this over the last 40 years. So Anne said, why have I put the onus on the female and not concentrating on retraining men? And I've seen this, why do we put the onus on the females? Why it's men that's got to change their mind and everything else? So I just wanted to address it in another video, because it's not as simple as just what Anne said there. And I want to ask Anne a few questions, and some, you yourself as well, if you sort of look at it in this light. So let's break that down into the two separate parts. Why did I put the onus on the female? Well, firstly, I was talking about a female. You can't get any more basic than that, can you? So I was basically talking about a female situation. Now, I don't know whether Anne's seen any more of my videos here on this platform or any other platform that I talk about, but if I was talking about a man attacking another man, I'd be putting the onus on that man to defend himself. If I'm talking about young people, I'm putting the onus on that young person to defend themselves. If I'm talking about children, I'm putting the onus on parents to protect themselves. So overall, I put the onus on individuals to protect themselves. And I'll come back to that a little later on. So in this case, I put the onus on the female in the story, and females in general, if they're being attacked, to protect themselves. But overall, I put the onus on the individual to protect themselves. That's the first thing. The second thing is, let's look at this. So like I said, has Anne commented on mine or other people's posts regarding males who've been attacked? Because if you look at, and you can check, you do your own fact checking, go on the Office of National Statistics, you will see that men aged 16 to 24 are more prone to be attacked or have some sort of physical violence put upon them more than women. And that is now going up to the age group of 16 to 34, and the older generation is being involved in that as well now. So when I post about men attacking other men, I don't get people like Anne commenting on that and going, why have you put the onus on men? Why aren't you re-educating men? I've never seen, and please, if you have seen it, please, let me know. I never see this. I only see this when somebody's commented on women. And like I've just said there, young men are more prevalent to being attacked than women. So, Anne, did you comment when David Ames was stabbed to death, the MP stabbed to death? Did you comment there, men need to be re-educated? Why did you put, because I commented on this and I did a breakdown on that story as well. Why did you not put on, or did you put on there? Sorry, I'm going to ask a question because I don't know. Did you put on that, if somebody posted on about David Ames being killed, did you put on there, men need to change, men need to be re-educated? Why did somebody put the onus on men? What about Henry Novak? Did you comment on that? Men need to change. Did anybody, because that was all over social media, did you put on there, why did you put the onus on men? I can pretty much guarantee you probably haven't, and neither did anybody else. But as soon as somebody like me who's putting on about women being attacked, you all pipe up and go, why have you put the onus on women? So for clarity, I put the onus on the individual, and like I said, I'll come back onto that later. The second part, re-educating men. So part of my qualifications, I've studied criminal psychology, so that's one of my qualifications, my academic qualifications that I've got within my work role. So I'm not going to bore everybody with the, the going back to the Celtic times and everything else, and about how they dealt with, first dealt with criminals, how prisons were formed and everything else. But we've got a long-term problem that has got no solution. But we've got the same long-term problem. So we've got a long-term problem with no long-term solution. But we've got a long-term problem with short-term solutions. So let me ask you this about retraining, Anne, because it's a throwaway comment, because you've got no clue on how to retrain men. And one of the things I want to point out, that it's not men that need to be retrained. I don't need to be retrained. There are millions of good men out there that don't need to change, that don't need to be retrained. What you should be concentrating on and should be aware of is that the bad men out there need to change and need to be retrained. But let's pick up on that. We have a prison system now that is overcrowded. We need new prisons. We've got so many people in prisons. We're letting serious criminals out early. Nearly 38%, just under 38% of those people in prison are reoffenders. So what does that say about you saying men need to change? Because we've had this from thousands of years ago. And like I said, we've got a long-term problem with no long-term solution to this problem. Rehabilitation, retraining does not work in the main. And you know why that is? It's because the really bad people out there, the people, unlike me, that want to go out there and harm other people, be it women, men, children, the elderly, they don't want to change. They want everything in society that we want through working within society, that we work within society, within the rules of law and everything else. They want that, but they don't want to work for it. They don't want to live in the society that we are living. They don't want to change. They won't change. And if you think they are going to change, you are not living in reality. You're living in a dream world. So what do you want to do then if men don't want to change? And this is where we're getting into that realm now of good guys and now wanting to stop helping other people because they're just going to get a backlash. And that's, I would always help somebody. That wouldn't change me, but you're going to get that, and you can look at that on social media as well. Let's go back to your first word, onus. Why did I put the onus on females? And I've explained that. But let's go back to that word onus, and let's look at you. I want you to do me a favor, do a social experiment. The government is not there to protect you. It's not there to protect me. It's not there to protect anybody. It's there to protect the nation state. They don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about me. They'll sacrifice, I can't even speak, sorry. Sacrifice thousands of people when we go to war to protect our nation. Yes, they'll come out with platitudes and everything else, but they do not care about you. The police are there not to protect you. They're not there to protect me. That's not in their charter. Answer me this. Do you lock your car door when you park your car up? Do you lock your door when you go to bed at night? Yes, you do. Everybody does. Why? Because the onus is on you to protect what you own. Let's do this social experiment. Leave your car door open next time you go and park it in a car park. When you go to bed tonight, leave your house door open. You're not going to, are you? Why not? Because the onus is on you to protect what you own. Why then, with the most precious thing you have, do you not put the onus on yourself and rely on somebody else to protect you? Really, these throwaway comments are used by people who haven't really looked into things. I hope I've given you some things to think about there. Please do comment. I put the onus on females when it's females. I put the onus on the individual person. My name's Rock. This is Viper Tactical Training. Stay dangerous.